it's always disappointing when you feel like you've probably done some good things in the game and the other team of quality of Liverpool aren't at their best, but you don't come away with anything. And maybe at the top end of the pitch, the game changes that we've seen, particularly Cole Palmer, didn't really have their moments when you felt like they might do. I think Neto came on and added a lot. I think he probably pushed himself into a big chance of starting the next game coming forward, and I think he should. He's dynamic and he changed it a bit from up there. But yeah, they're probably lacking that little bit of an edge at the top end of the pitch, really. Some good stuff for them there, but again, they'll go home disappointed because at least when they get something when you play that.
Is that ultimately the difference in front of goal, do you think, today?
Yeah, I think so. I think, obviously, for Chelsea to get back into it with a well-worked goal, and then Liverpool straight back to it. Only they didn't show much, huge amounts of quality, but that was a really quality ball in from Salah, and I thought Curtis Jones' first touch on his left foot was exceptional, and then a really deft finish over Sanchez. So those 3 minutes shaped the second half, and like Maka said there, it looked like difficult conditions, and Liverpool looked like all they were focusing on was the result, no style of play. They were just looking to get 3 points and move forward.
And that is exactly what they did. 9 down, 1 more to go on this Premier League weekend. That, of course, had the standout shock of it on Saturday. Arsenal's 100% record going. Bournemouth's second ever win in their entire history over Arsenal. After those earlier wins, the comeback one for Leicester, for Brighton, for Manchester United, Everton, Villa, and for Spurs, who were also 1 down in their game. Earlier on, more late drama in the Premier League. A 95th minute winner from John Stones. The 4th time that Manchester City have come from behind this season to win a game away at Wolves. 2-1 also at Anfield in Liverpool's favour. And the Monday Night Football, which of course is followed as always by the final word, is Crystal Palace's visit to Nottingham Forest. And that will be an opportunity for Palace to get their first win of the season. If they are able to do that, they will be out of the bottom 3 and Ipswich will drop into it. But Forest are up in 12th with 10 points on the board already. So after Arsenal missed the opportunity to go top on Saturday, City then did with a win at Wolves, but Liverpool back above them, 21 points from a possible 24th. Villa are the team in 4th, and Chelsea on 14 stay in 6th. He's been in charge for 11 games. He's won 10 of them, and in the Premier League era, only Pep Guardiola can better that as he started. And Pep, not surprisingly, won out 11 over 11. But that's some going, isn't it, to hit the ground running?
It is, and it was a test for them today. They weren't at their best, but it was all about, after an international break, like we've said on numerous occasions, getting back into work, getting on the training ground and getting the right result. And it'll be interesting to speak to some of the players, but conditions looked a lot worse, particularly in the second half. You could see by the flight of the ball, so the quality depleted a little bit in the second half, but the main thing is that they adapted to the conditions and got over the line, really. So I've got no qualms at all about how they played. It was the result in the end that was the most telling thing, and the 3 points to keep them top after City go and win in the last minute was very, very important. And it just puts a little bit of daylight now between themselves and Arsenal, who, of course, they play next week away from home.
Yeah, what a game. The big games just keep coming. Yeah. And the fact that Arne Slot keeps telling us himself there's a lot more to come from his team, the more his methods get across, and yet they're winning when they're not firing on all cylinders and they're top of the league.
Yeah, I think today, without being, a standout performance, I don't think they were ever in too much doubt. They had gears to go through, and they did, and they used that. But look, he doesn't feel like the kind of guy who would do an interview and make things up. He does feel confident that the best is yet to come from his team. He's obviously very pleased with what they're doing, and results-wise, it's very important, especially at a club like Liverpool. You need to win. You need to get everyone on side. He's certainly done that. He's done the hard work to get his foot in the door, and then I think he's really looking forward to stamping his authority on the team now.
Yeah, from a coach, some tweaks and new methods over, you have to be winning at the same time at a club like Liverpool, don't you?
Yeah, but it helps to buy in with everybody, the fans and the players, because when you're trying to bring slightly new ideas, I think it's the game that he would have learnt the most about his squad so far, because I think they were tested in different ways. In the first half, particularly, Chelsea felt like they could play through them quite a lot, through the pressure of Liverpool. I think they were getting that slightly wrong or slightly off. Maybe it was a case of after an international break when you're not quite at it and you leave spaces and they play through, and Chelsea are a good team. And I never felt like Liverpool had a real control of the game. in terms of, you know, where I think their best moments came generally when they kind of went longer and then they got the second ball, and then, you know, they've got game changers higher up the pitch. So in the quest to make them this sort of possession, slightly move towards more possession, they got tested today, and I think they'll probably learn, and he will learn a lot from that.
And as Frank said at half-time, it's interesting, not just today, that they have done that at times when they've needed to under Arne Slot.
Yeah, and I thought they were better doing that today. Whenever they went long, because in the first half, Chelsea almost went man-to-man for them and pushed right up the pitch. Whenever they went to Salah direct from Kevin Kelleher goal, he's so strong, he normally keeps the ball, and suddenly they've got possession 80 yards further up the pitch. And I think, horses for courses, Chelsea pressed them today, you go long. If people drop off, that's when you start to play. And there's no set way of playing football. You play what the opposition do, and if the opposition make it hard for you, you go over the top of them. And I thought Liverpool adapted to the conditions and to the opposition really well today. As I said, it was very close. You know, the two crosses at the end of the game, one from Neto, and then they had one from the Cole Palmer free kick. It showed you it was just, you know, millimetres really that kept them in the game, but they just found a way to get over the line today, and it was equally as important as going out and winning 3-0 against different opposition, because it was a hard game. Chelsea are a good side, aren't they? And they're only going to get better.
From a penalty, which was awarded after one wasn't. Could they have had one earlier, or are we all happy that this wasn't a penalty?
I'm personally happy with all three decisions, to be honest. I think this one, Salah's expecting Colwell to come across, there's a little bit of contact, but I actually don't think this was a penalty.
Joe?
I'm not as clear-cut as Maka, I'll be honest. I feel like there is contact, and I feel like if the referee did give that penalty, I don't think it'll be overturned, but I can also understand why he hasn't given it and it hasn't been overturned.
So wait there. Whoa.
What do you want
a penalty or not?
If I was the referee there, I think I'd just look for a little hole in the ground and send it to the video ref. Well, what do you think?
I think Levi's a bit aggressive. When you're playing against a player like Mo Salah and you know what you can do and get his body in the way.
You said he expected
penalty
it.
Or no penalty?
That's intelligent play, though.
I get that. I think he steps across him knowing that he's going to come and touch him, and then he falls over. I'm happy with, as I said, what the refs did today.
So no penalties, and I want.
Is that what it was?
And I want to go into a hole, whatever that is. The common theme was the way Chelsea were playing in the area of the pitch was exactly the same when the penalty was given.
Yeah, and that's been an area where there's, you know, Mo Salah on that side and the threat that they have here. This one, I think we all agree is a penalty.
Yeah.
And you're the wrong side, and he makes a connection with Curtis Jones there. So this was the interesting thing for me, where I think Liverpool have been good, and we talk about Slot playing more possession. You've got to play the game that's in front of you. Chelsea are trying to press there. Tosin goes a long way. This is a build-up to the penalty. And all of a sudden, this is the Liverpool we know from the Jurgen Klopp days. They miss you out at times. They have players that are so powerful and quick on the run. Straight away, Chelsea now are struggling to defend it. And out of there, of Chelsea feeling a little element of control in the game to a degree, being in the game, all of a sudden there's a penalty and you're 1-0 down.
And everyone agrees that's a penalty.
No, yes. I'm giving that. No holes needed. I'm giving that.
And Mo Salah wasn't missing it. Actually, Joe, we give him credit, he did scream to exactly where Mo Salah was going to put it. But Robert Sanchez went the other way.
Just couldn't hear you from here.
No, it was a good pen. We all knew that he was going to put his foot through it. You look at his demographic of his last 5 penalties. He doesn't go for the corner, he goes for the power, and he goes to, he gambles on, even if the keeper goes the right way, having enough power to go through him. Sanchez, very athletic goalkeeper, but gone the wrong way. It's a 50-50 when you're making those decisions, and a big moment for a big player.
And Mo Salah goes joint 9th with Jermaine Defoe in the all-time Premier League goal-scoring list. 16 to go to try and go past Frank, who recommends he moves to Saudi Arabia as quickly as possible. What about at the end? Correct decision from Robert Sanchez's point of view and the goalkeeper?
Yeah. I think in hindsight, seeing it and obviously it not being given, it's a good bit of goalkeeping. I think Curtis Jones, Maka was saying, I think he just got a little bit lost. He didn't quite know what finish he wanted to take, and then when he felt the contact, he couldn't believe his luck. And threw himself over, but Sanchez just gets the touch here before he has to commit, he has to stay big, goalkeeper position, no excess force. I think the right decision was made in the end here.
And again, good use of VAR here.
Yes, I think it's been excellent today. The Wolves-Manchester City game, and then quickly followed by this game. I think the referees have done a wonderful job, and they've had to go against sometimes the rule of what the other person in VAR was saying, but they've got to the right decision every single time.
Still plenty in this game for Chelsea, do you feel?
Yeah, I think Chelsea, in terms of the game, they've played through Liverpool at times. They've got balls at higher areas of the pitch without actually getting a shot on target and creating great chances. But they can play through Liverpool at times. They just have to be careful about Liverpool, the threat that they always have when they go a bit more direct. Yeah,
I'm exactly the same. For the first 25 minutes, until that penalty decision where Liverpool scored the goal, Chelsea were the better team. I think Arne Slot, weirdly enough, will change it round slightly because they've been picking it up, Caicedo in those holes and turning on Liverpool and going forward. I don't think he'll be particularly happy. Yes, the results at this moment in time, fine. But I think the performance is just off a little bit.
Interesting. OK, plenty.
Here's a more persuasive and engaging rewrite in English. Liverpool triumphs to stay top of the Premier League, see the latest results. Sunday, October 20th, delivered crucial points for Europe's top football teams as title races heat up. In the Premier League, the battle for supremacy remains fierce between current leaders Liverpool and second-place Manchester City. Both teams secured vital wins, intensifying the race for the crown. Meanwhile, in La Liga, Barcelona extended their lead with a commanding victory over Sevilla. In a thrilling encounter at Anfield, Liverpool emerged victorious with a 2-1 win over Chelsea, maintaining their place at the top of the Premier League table. The Reds also extended their unbeaten streak against the Blues to 10 matches, much to the delight of their fans. Mohamed Salah was the standout performer, scoring from the penalty spot and assisting Curtis Jones for the match-winning goal. Nicholas Jackson netted the only goal for Chelsea, but it wasn't enough to halt Liverpool's march. Over at Molineux, Manchester City also claimed a dramatic 2-1 win against Wolverhampton, keeping the pressure on Liverpool. Pep Guardiola's side clinched victory in the dying moments of the match, with John Stones rising high to head home a corner in the final minute. Wolverhampton took the lead early through Larsson, but City responded quickly, with Gvardiol equalising before half-time. City's comeback keeps their unbeaten run intact, as they sit just behind Liverpool with 20 points. Wolverhampton, meanwhile, remains at the bottom of the table with only 1 point and no victories. Barcelona crushed Sevilla. Over in La Liga, Sevilla stood no chance against the dominant Barcelona, who cruised to a 5-1 victory at the Estadio Olympic Lewis Companies. The game was all but decided before half-time, with Robert Lewandowski opening the scoring from the penalty spot at 23 minutes, followed by a second from Pedri at 28 and another from Lewandowski at 38. Barcelona comfortably managed their lead in the second half, but added 2 more late strikes from Pablo Torre, while Idumbo netted a consolation goal for Sevilla. With this win, Barcelona maintains their spot atop La Liga with 27 points, 3 clear of second-placed Real Madrid, who also secured a win on Saturday, October 19th.